Hello everyone, welcome to a new video. Today we're doing a friendship reading between Momo and Chaeyoung. I was looking at who I haven't done yet, and then I just kind of did a random number generator, and this was the pair that came up. So let's jump into this reading. Let's first take out a card to figure out what type of connection they have. Well, that was very quick. We have full moon in Capricorn with the end of a tough cycle approaches. Now let's take out one card to represent Momo in this reading. Well, two. And then let's take out one card to represent Chaeyoung in this reading, which is also two. Okay. So the card that represents the relationship between Momo and Chaeyoung is the end of a tough cycle approaches with a full moon in Capricorn. This makes me think that they have a very professional relationship, or their connection stands out a bit more when they're talking about work, their career, their professions, and maybe what they even strive for in the long-term future. When it boils down to personal goals, it's these very big ideas and these very big goals. That's probably where their connection usually shines the most. And with the phrase that we see in this card, it makes me think that they usually try to hype each other up or try to find a practical solution to their problems when they ever encounter an obstacle towards their goals. It seems like they're a very good support system to each other. It seems like they're able to provide very good advice for one and the other, or bring useful information when one of them is in trouble or when one of them is a bit stagnant when they're approaching their goals. And based on the cards that represent each one of them, it feels like the person that usually pushes forward and takes action when encountering the unknown is Chaeyoung, and the one that hesitates a bit more when taking action is Momo. So the cards that represent Momo is the Eight of Wands reverse and the Hierophant. So the Eight of Wands upright usually talks about someone that is moving very quickly, is taking action, someone that is very focused, and someone that is not hesitating at all in getting something done. So the energy is moving very, very quickly. If anything, if you see this eagle moving all of these wands, it almost seems like an express delivery of sorts. But with it being reversed, that just makes me think that it can be one of two things. Someone that is hesitating to take action, so they have actually slowed down. Or it could be describing someone that has their energy scattered and it has thinned out, that they can't focus on completing something or accomplishing a goal because of how they're keeping their mind occupied with too many things at once. And here we also have the Hierophant reverse. So upright, so first of all, the Hierophant is Taurus energy, and the Hierophant is supposed to represent someone that is it could be like the leader of a group of people that have the same belief system of sorts. It could be an established institution, something traditional. And with it reverse, I'm not too sure if these two cards combined will mean that Momo hesitates because she wants to do things differently, but she doesn't really know how to go about it. Or the thing that holds Momo back is that she doesn't feel like she has an established way of doing things. Because the Hierophant is number 5, which talks about change and transformation. And that also makes me think that one of the things that Momo may struggle with is that she finds it hard to focus or to concentrate. And in this case, I mean, when she has a goal in mind, there could be a lot of things that she wants to do at once, that it makes it very difficult for her to just concentrate and bulldoze towards one goal and accomplishing everything within it. I think that she wants to do a lot of things at once that keep her quite distracted from just completing anything. And this Hierophant reverse makes me think that either Momo struggles to think outside the box, or she finds it very difficult to just ground her energy and being able to complete something or see something through to the very end. So I'm not too sure, but it seems like Momo is either very, very distracted, and that's why she can't concentrate her energy to complete something and accomplish a goal, or she just hesitates a lot when she's about to start something new. And actually, you could combine both of these meanings together, and it could be someone that hesitates to take action towards something new because they don't even know where to start. You could combine those messages as well. Now, on the other hand, for Chaeyoung, the cards that represent her in this dynamic is the Moon and the Knight of Wands. So with the Moon, we have Pisces energy, and with the Knight of Wands, we have Sagittarius energy, which both zodiac signs are mutable energy. Mutable signs are ones that talk about dynamic energy, it talks about change, it talks about transformation, it talks about signs that are very good at adapting to their surroundings. Now, with the moon energy, this tells me that Chaeyoung is someone, especially with how happy the figure on the moon looks, is that makes me think that Chaeyoung is the one that is a big dreamer. She's someone that has very big aspirations, very big goals. She's someone that visualizes her future constantly and is constantly manifesting as well. The moon does talk about like the veil, talks about the unknown, it talks about mysteries. And with Chaeyoung, it seems like it comes from a very positive place though. It seems like she's usually very happy, she's usually very content of just thinking of a creative way of accomplishing her future and her goals. The best way I can describe this is that she's like daydreaming about something, and then one of the things that make her the happiest is thinking, how am I going to bring this creative ideas down into something tangible and something physical, if you want to put it that way. So like if she has like, oh, I want to convey this emotion somehow, then one of the creative ways she can make that into something tangible or physical is like expressing herself through her clothes, expressing herself through her physical body, meaning like changing her appearance, her hair, her clothes, and in it making sure that, or like, I mean, she has tattoos, so even through her tattoos, a way of like expressing something within her. So it could be a feeling, it could be an idea. And the moon tells me that she's very good at connecting these two sides of her, the dreamy part of her that is always trying to do new things and express new ways of herself, these new emotions or ideas, and bringing it down to earth in a way, in a creative form. Now, with the Knight of Wands, this is a pretty fast moving energy as well. It's not the fastest moving knight in tarot, but it is one that is taking action. The Knight of Wands to me does talk about someone that is very excited to try new things in life, someone that is very optimistic. I got the words of someone that gets impressed quite easily, so this tells me that Chaeyoung is a type of person that tends to be very optimistic or tends to be very happy with the smallest things in life. There's this idea that Chaeyoung doesn't really need much to feel satisfied with life, and she doesn't really need much to feel accomplished in life. So I don't think she's necessarily super ambitious, or if she is, she's not very strict or fixed on like it has to happen a certain way or else I'm not successful or I don't feel accomplished or I don't feel satisfied. I think with Chaeyoung, she's the type of person that enjoys the journey way more than the end goal, or when she has like she wants to accomplish something in life, she really likes to kind of sit back and enjoy the scenery around her, and which is something that is advised to people when they feel like they're constantly on the like pursuing and going towards their goals. Like sometimes it's like slow down and enjoy the view, because sometimes timing is an issue with goals. Sometimes you kind of have to wait for things to kind of manifest and happen. So with Chaeyoung, I think she has a very healthy understanding of that, and because of that, she does enjoy her time and just doing her own thing, going at her own pace. She doesn't rush herself towards her goals. She enjoys dreaming, she enjoys creating, she enjoys expressing her creativity. And because of that, she's constantly moving forward, constantly getting things done, but there's no pressure here. So even if she's very ambitious and has very big goals, as we have this shared energy of Capricorn, there's still this idea that she doesn't put unnecessary pressures on herself, which I think is kind of like the complete opposite of Momo, who seems to be thinking like, I want to do these things, but like I can't concentrate, that type of vibe. So now let's take out a card to figure out how do they see each other. So how does Momo see Chaeyoung? A lot of cards came out, so I'll put them back. Just give me one card. Wait. So the card that fell was the Page of Swords. How does Chaeyoung see Momo? Give me one card. We have the Six of Wands reverse. So Momo sees Chaeyoung as someone that has very big ideas, someone that is very good at communicating those ideas. Usually pages are like the beginning of a new journey, and it's also a very young energy, which is supposed to symbolize like someone that is barely learning how to use a suit. So in this case, it will be swords, and swords talk about ideas, communication, our thoughts. And if we combine these two things, it feels like one of the things that Momo sees in Chaeyoung is that she's very good at thinking of new ideas, so someone that's quite creative, and expressing that through speech, So being able to say, I want to do this, I want this, I want that. Oh, it almost makes me think that Momo sees Chaeyoung as someone that is very good at manifesting, or someone that is very good at expressing what it is that she wants in life. And that clarity is something that maybe Momo desires that she could have in hers. And to me, specifically, the Page of Swords has talked about messages or communication. So I do feel that Momo sees Chaeyoung as someone that is very good at staying in contact with people or having a very good network, or just someone that is very good at just saying what her thoughts are and what her ideas are. If this is highlighted, it makes me think that maybe Momo feels like she struggles in communicating some of her ideas. Like maybe there's something that she has in her mind and she just finds it difficult to express those ideas into words. And I don't think this is necessarily like a language barrier as much as it's just Momo being Momo. Like this is like a her problem. It's like there's people out there that, like, for example, if you have your Mercury in your 12th house, it is very difficult for these people to express their ideas into a verbal form. It's very difficult for them, because even if they're saying things, many people will kind of go like, unless they're intuitively connected, then they kind of will get the gist of what these people are trying to express. So I don't know much about Momo's chart, but she could have her Mercury in the 12th house, or she could have some aspects towards her Mercury that would just make it very difficult for her to bring her thoughts into something a bit more tangible and being able to express it in a clear way towards others. But regardless, Momo sees Chaeyoung as someone that's just very good at communicating. Like, it comes very easily. Ideas and creativity flow very nicely and very easily. And that's something that stands out to Momo, it seems. Now, for Chaeyoung, the way that she sees Momo is a Six of Wands reversed. Now, this makes me think that there's this feeling that Chaeyoung sees that Momo is very successful, very accomplished, and someone that has a lot going for them. However, with the Six of Wands being reversed, it also makes me think that Chaeyoung feels like Momo doesn't see this side of herself. Like, there's a sense of like, you know, those people that work very hard, but they don't take the time out to give themselves a pat in the back for their hard work and their accomplishments. Well, that's kind of what I mean here. Like, Chaeyoung sees how Momo puts a lot of time and effort towards accomplishing her goals and achieving her goals, but Momo doesn't give herself the time to kind of look back at her accomplishments and celebrate them. And again, this is kind of like the different energies that they have. Chaeyoung does go out of her way to kind of take some time off and enjoy the journey, and while Momo's constantly thinking of her next goal and kind of like trying to achieve those, even if like she's focusing a lot on the obstacles that she could encounter. So yeah, with the Six of Wands reverse, it just makes me think that Chaeyoung sees Momo as someone that's super accomplished, and that Momo should give herself more credit than she gives herself. That Momo should also take some time to like rest and see that her hard work is paying off. So, as I mentioned earlier, this whole feeling of like taking a break and enjoying the scenery towards the journey when like going through a journey to accomplish a goal is like take some time off and just enjoy the moment. And I feel that Chaeyoung sees Momo as someone that should take some time off to enjoy the present moment with no pressure, and also sees Momo as someone that has a lot going for her, but Momo probably doesn't acknowledge that side of herself. So yeah, seems like that's what Chaeyoung sees in Momo. Now let's go on to the fourth question and figure out how do they like to spend their time together. It's 3 cards. We can make it work. So we have a full moon in Pisces. We have a full moon in Pisces with balance, spirituality, and practicality. We have full moon in Leo with don't let pride get in your way. And then we have a first quarter moon with your commitment is being tested. So it seems like one of the ways that they like to spend their time together is doing things that they enjoy, hobbies, things that remind them of their childhood, things that bring them a lot of positivity and optimism with this Leo energy. And with this Pisces energy, it seems like a lot of the things that they like to do will be connected to something that is very dreamy. So maybe watching movies or watching a series or I don't think they do D&D, but something close to that. Something where like they're telling a story and using their creativity and kind of like jumping into this fantasy world of sorts. You know, one filled with magic, with the ability to bridge the impossible, something that allows them to like expand their mind, and something they like to spend their time together in ways where they can like lose themselves in. So maybe a hobby that they both really enjoy that will bring them a lot of optimism, a lot of healing, and that they will kind of forget how long they've been working on it. So I don't know what that could be since I don't know them that well, but they like to spend their time together creating a space where they're able to bring harmony into their life, a lot of positivity and healing, so like that they're able to continue moving forward in whatever goals they may have together or individually. So this could also be like just talking or just spending time together, or just maybe even staying in silence next to each other, but still creating this environment where they're both able to kind of like recharge for the future, or recharge so like that they can continue working towards their goals. It seems like they also, one of the ways that they like to spend their time together is kind of like recenter and plan for the future. One thing that I saw was that Momo could be the type of person that goes to Chaeyoung for advice, so like that Momo has like a better idea of how she can accomplish her goals and overcome this feeling of stagnation and this feeling of hesitation that she encounters sometimes. So if we look at all of these cards of how they like to spend their time together, it makes me think that they they may have times where they get together so that they can help each other out. Think of like the most practical way to accomplish a goal, maybe a very good schedule, or maybe a good execution plan, or something along those lines. Also, with this Leo energy, I do feel that they like to spend their time together going to theaters, maybe watching musicals, or maybe watching dramas, or something within the arts. Okay, so let's go on to the next question and figure out what they like about each other. So what does Momo like about Chaeyoung? Yeah, we have the King of Wands. Color me not surprised about that one. And what does Chaeyoung like about Momo? We have the Ten of Cups. Oh, that's nice. Those are very positive cards. Sometimes it happens that this question is supposed to be quite positive, right? Because, I mean, what do you like about each other? That's where you're leaning towards a bias of something positive. So sometimes when I get a card that I go like, that doesn't really sound too positive. I don't know how to make, like, what to make of that. But here we have two very positive cards. So the thing that Momo likes about Chaeyoung with this King of Wands is that Momo sees how Chaeyoung is someone that is usually very cool, very relaxed, very chill. But when it comes to taking action, Chaeyoung just get things done. So the King of Wands is the energy of someone that knows how to work with their impulses, work with their passion, work with their desires. Someone that is still very optimistic. Someone, as I mentioned earlier, that can be quite impulsive. So sometimes they just do things without thinking. And of course, since we're talking about a King of Wands at this point, we're talking about someone. By the way, this is Aries energy. We're talking about someone that kind of already knows how to work with that energy of just doing without thinking. And by this, I mean like this impulses doesn't is not a reckless action as much as it's like no hesitation. Let me just take action and get things done. So this King of Wands shows that Momo likes how Chaeyoung is just very determined, very assertive, very like goal orientated. Well, maybe not goal orientated for the King of Wands, but someone that when they set their mind towards something, they just get it done. They just do it. Again, Chaeyoung is Taurus energy, so that makes me think of someone that is quite laser focused on their goals. Is like the way that Taurus energy works is like the moment they decide that they're going to do something, they move towards it nonstop. Every little step that they're taking is towards that goal. And sometimes it feels like it is like a bull just charging towards their goal. And I think that's something that Momo really likes about Chaeyoung. Someone that the moment they take action, they are able to like move people, move things, get everything rolling so like that they can accomplish their goals. But aside from that, very relaxed, very chill, very laid back, and very lighthearted I'm getting as well. So Momo likes those things about Chaeyoung. Now on the other hand, The thing that Chaeyoung likes about Momo is this Ten of Cups. Also, I want to point out that if I got their signs correctly, Chaeyoung is a Taurus and Momo is a Scorpio, which are opposite signs. So this kind of tells me that they may have similar goals in life, or they may have similar focuses in their life. However, they have a very different approach to it because their signs are opposites. So we kind of saw a little bit of that already. Like Chaeyoung is more like, I'll just take action whenever I have something that I want to get done. And with Momo is like, she still hesitates a lot for some reason. But with the Ten of Cups, the thing that Chaeyoung likes about Momo is that Momo is someone that, well, the Ten of Cups, here we have completion, but the Ten of Cups usually talks about like a happily ever after. It usually shows like a family, like a married couple with two of their children. It shows a rainbow above them. It shows like the 10 cups all lined up. And the Ten of Cups is supposed to be like a very positive card in tarot. It's like the accumulation of emotional fulfillment, emotional satisfaction, happiness, optimism. There's like a dream fulfillment, a fairy tale type of ending, right? Like everything's very good, everything's positive. So I think Chaeyoung, one of the things that she likes about Momo is that she sees Momo having a very bright future ahead of her. But also, the other thing that I'm getting, and I'm not too sure why it keeps coming up in my mind, is that Chaeyoung really likes how happy Momo gets when she accomplishes her goals and her dreams. Like maybe like the satisfaction of like completing something. I don't know how Momo will react or what she does that Chaeyoung really, really likes. Is like maybe when the group achieves some sort of milestone, Momo reacts in such a way that makes Chaeyoung feel very happy, or she really likes Momo's reactions when there's something that is getting completed because of the happiness and optimism that it brings her. Something along those lines. Okay, but let's go on to the next question and figure out what have they learned about each other. So what has Momo learned from Chaeyoung? That's 4 cards. Just give me 1 card. We have the Emperor. So the Emperor is also Aries energy. The Emperor is number 4. Oh, you know what I noticed? Without thinking, I'm using the wrong deck for Momo. Okay, that's fine. It happened that way. It bothers me, but that's okay. Now, let's see. What has Chaeyoung learned from Momo? We have the Empress. Okay, that's crazy. So remember how I mentioned that they were like opposite signs? Well, the Emperor and the Empress are not necessarily opposite signs, but they are like a pair. The Empress is Venus energy and the Emperor is, well, Aries, which is Mars. Hold up. For my sanity. Oh, remember how I mentioned that the Ten of Cups was like a very happy family? Well, this is like a version of the Ten of Cups. So this is how the Emperor looks in the Teddy Tarot. This is how the King of Wands looks in the Teddy Tarot. Now I'm putting them there because I used the wrong deck. It bothers me, but it happened for a reason. With the Emperor, we have number 4, and with the Empress, we have number 3. So it's kind of like a consecutive thing. So the thing that Momo has learned from Chaeyoung is what we saw earlier with the King of Wands. This someone that is very good at like observing the situation and like creating this strategy of taking action. Now, the Emperor is like the accumulation of all the kings in the tarot. So this is basically the King of Cups, the King of Wands, the King of Pentacles, the King of Swords, right? So the Emperor is someone that is usually kind of just sitting on his throne, very relaxed, but is someone that knows when to take action, knows when to get things done, is someone that is always ready to move his troops, is the words that I'm getting, or being able to work people so that they can get things done as a community. The Emperor is a leader, so this makes me think that the thing that Momo has learned from Chaeyoung is to learn how to take action, learning when to get things done, when to be assertive, when to tell people what to do, when to get things moving, or when to start planning. Like when like the best way that I can describe this is that Momo has learned from Chaeyoung how to like observe the situation and take action. On the other hand, the thing that Chaeyoung has learned from Momo is how to manifest, how to relax. Chaeyoung has also learned from Momo how to. Okay, the best way I can describe this is that Momo learned from Chaeyoung how to embrace her masculine energy and be a bit more assertive, more reckless was the word, but it will be reckless for Momo, but I don't think that's really the words that describe this. It's more like just taking a calculated risk, being risk takers, being able to just push forward and get things done without hesitation, without fear. On the other hand, what Chaeyoung has learned from Momo is how to embrace her feminine energy. So with feminine energy is more of like laying back and enjoying the moment, being able to be a bit more receptive, allowing for opportunities to like being magnetic and allowing those opportunities to kind of come in, and being able to like see what other people offer you before you make a decision of what you're going to do and take action. Feminine energy is a bit more laid back and it's a bit more low key as well. It's also a bit more of like this introverted energy. So instead of like taking action and getting things done, is like allowing things to just flow, allowing things to happen. And with this Empress energy and with this Venus energy as well, the thing that Chaeyoung has learned from Momo is that whole idea of being fertile, being able to manifest, being able to enjoy the beauty of life, being able to relax, being able to focus on her body and like taking care of it, or doing, or like expressing this beautiful side of themselves, something along those lines. So nourishment is a very good way of describing like the sense of like taking care of their body, right? Now if we look at what they have learned from each other, I guess the best way that we can describe these cards as well is that Chaeyoung has put into practice a bit more what she has learned from Momo, and with the Emperor, I think Momo is still struggling to put into practice what she has learned from Chaeyoung. But yeah, if we look at these cards, they are, I wouldn't say they're necessarily the opposite or opposing cards, but I mean, the Emperor and the Empress is a pair, so that makes me think that as people, since they're opposite signs, like their sun signs are opposite for Momo and Chaeyoung, it makes sense that what they have learned is like what the other one is very good at, that they themselves lack in either understanding or to put into practice. So yeah, Momo is this masculine energy of just taking action, and with Chaeyoung is this feminine energy of just sitting back and enjoying the present moment. So why is it Momo and Chaeyoung eat? Let's see. So that's 2 cards. I can handle 2 cards. So we have South Node with Don't Let Your Past Hold You Back, and then we have North Node with Step Out of Your Comfort Zone. So this is awesome because the South Node and North Node are places that are calculated by your like natal chart, and this is, I think, based on your moon. I could be wrong, but the South Node is supposed to symbolize who we were in a past life, and usually this is traits that come very intuitively to us. It's like, and I think it changes like every year or so. I'm not like 100% sure. So for example, the people of my generation have a South Node in Capricorn. Many of us were probably focused on our career and our goals. Many of us were very ambitious, maybe very goal oriented and focused on time. And then the North Node is supposed to is usually the opposite of your South Node, and is supposed to describe like your destiny, like what you're working on right now, and kind of like what you're striving to, the energy that you're striving to be in this lifetime. So for example, people in my generation have a North Node in Cancer, so many of us are learning how to enjoy our private life, enjoy our family, enjoy me creating a home. So instead of thinking a lot like outside on our career and being like super ambitious on that side of things, it's kind of like many of people from my generation will be focusing more on domestic matters and trying to create and build a home in the nourishing emotional type of state and not in the practical material way. So in this case, I think Momo and Chaeyoung are too far apart to have the same south node and north node. But this tells me that the reason that they met is that they're both helping each other step out of their comfort zone, let go of the things that hold them back. Because these two messages kind of work hand in hand. It's like letting go of their fears, letting go of their stagnation, letting go of the things that they hesitate with or the things that they struggle with, and kind of allow each other to push forward and try new things. If you look at all the cards that they have a lot of opposing energy. Like we saw it from the way that the dynamics of the relationship works as. So this tells me that even with like the reason that they met, the things that they like the things that they've learned from each other, the reason that they've met, and the cards that represent their dynamics, the best way I can describe their relationship is that they were meant to be complete opposites. But sometimes when people say that people are opposites, they think, oh, they don't get along, they hate each other, their energies are constantly clashing. But with Momo and Chaeyoung, that's not the case. I don't see any conflict, I don't see any clashing of energy, I don't see any hatred. This to me feels like just pure balance. It's like they're very different. I don't okay, like the worst I think their relationship has ever been on is just disinterest or indifference. I don't, if any. It's kind of like they're so different that if they weren't in the same group, maybe they wouldn't have crossed paths. But the fact that they're in the same group and they interact with each other just tells me that their differences is just something that they have been able to create balance and harmony with each other. They have learned a lot from each other since they both have a very different approach to life and a very different way of thinking about life. So because of those differences, they have learned a lot about each other and they're able to help each other a lot because they have very different point of view and perspective on life. And outside from that, I do feel that the reason that they met was so that they could encourage each other to do things differently or encourage each other to push forward with their strengths and weaknesses, right? So again, that kind of connects back to like what they have learned from each other. So in this case, they're so different that Momo was able to learn from Chaeyoung how to take action, or is still learning how to go out of her comfort zone and be a risk taker. And then from Chaeyoung's part, the best way I can describe Chaeyoung coming out of her comfort zone is by like sitting still and taking care of herself and nourishing herself and just surround herself by beautiful things and like the small happiness or like the small things in life. I guess the best way, like it may be kind of hard to see because if you go to Chaeyoung's side of the reading, she feels very stable. She feels pretty content. She feels very happy. But then if you look at Momo's side of things, if you can clearly see that Momo really is struggling to get things done. And because of that, it almost feels like Chaeyoung is not learning from Momo, but she is. It's just that Chaeyoung is more like just slow down and she's not like resisting this energy of like taking things a bit slow. Anyway, I hope you guys like this reading. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This reading had a lot of like astrology talk. Now, of course, I didn't go too deep into it because I myself don't know much about astrology, but I do feel that if you guys want to talk about that in the comment section, that would be very interesting. That would be very fun. I'm sure you guys know a little bit more about the girls themselves, but also some of you guys may be a bit more knowledgeable about astrology. So I'll be very interested to read what you guys have to say in regards to that. Like, you have Scorpio energy with Momo, and then you have this Taurus energy from Chaeyoung. I myself am not too familiar with Scorpio energy, so you guys may be a bit more familiar with with this astrological signs that came up than I myself am, but I'm just saying it will be very interesting to hear your own interpretation about like their charts and stuff. So feel free to comment down below about what you think. It will be very nice to hear what you guys have to say when you compare it, or just hear what you guys have to say, since you guys probably see more interactions between Momo and Chaeyoung than I ever have. But yeah, putting all that aside, I hope you guys liked this reading. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will see you on the next one, whenever that is, however that is. Love and healing from my part to you, and thank you so much for watching.